no,
Save for the
it's
whole
the
thing.
it's the
Save
rage.
for it's the jingle holiday until
it's-
12/31.
It's the rage of the metal that calms me down. Believe it or not.
I know you're like Lego Batman.
Whoa, we're live. What's
We're
up, everybody?
live.
What's going on? We're winning on Wednesdays here in the Patriot Business Alliance War Room. I got my handsome Evan over there and the legal law dog here, and yours truly. So, hope you guys are really taking the time tonight to kind of get ready for Turkey Day tomorrow. Have you guys started cooking?
Oh yeah. Oh
Really?
yeah.
Good
Hey,
night.
do we need to fix this?
Oh, we do need to fix that. Drag that screen to the other side so we're not just take the whole screen to the
Yeah.
left.
Oh, it looks like you're.
We got captivated talking about our music genres that we like to listen to.
Yes,
and
yes, but-
I'm a heavy metal fan. I don't know if you guys know that or not. But
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, it
I
kinda-
thought you were a classical music guy.
I do like
Great,
classical.
great Poupon.
I'm telling you, man. There's a time and place like we were talking about for other things here with all music. But yeah, man, I'm a 0630 Lamb of God kind of guy. Get it
No,
going?
I love almost all genres of music. I'm with you, man. I mean, there's a spot in my, Apple playlist or whatever you got that I have probably. I mean, it's heavy rock and roll.
Yeah.
And not the heavy metal like you, but it's heavy rock and roll, and then a lot of, other different things, alternative music, classical music, some really crazy, back when alternative was nothing anybody listened to.
I bet you're a Thin Lizzy guy.
More like Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, like those days. Back when
Little
when there was
punk
like
groups.
that blend of heavy metal into really, really dark alternative music.
What about
Then it
you?
Came back out into grunge.
Show tunes all the way.
Show tunes?
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking like that movie
Like,
with Hugh
like the Brady
Jackman.
Bunch.
Well, it might offend some listeners. Anything but country is usually okay with me.
Yeah, you're not a
rock
country guy?
genre, Not at all.
No?
Can't stand it.
Okay.
Hate it with a passion.
There's a lot of people that way though, believe it or not. The sad puppy songs.
I mean, there's
And then you got this crap
sad
music,
puppy
this crap
songs.
country rock or hip hop. It's trash, man. No. It's in my opinion.
Here's what I remember.
What is it? The two guys that sing Georgia, Florida line or something. Those dudes are tools, man.
So
It's like Eminem meets Randy Travis.
Oh man, that sounds like a bad one.
So tell us some wins this week, Evan. We'll start with you
yeah,
because you were
wins.
just
It's a
pondering.
short week.
Short week with 10 pounds and a 5-pound bag kind of week.
It's been good. I think on multiple fronts. Our baby girl started walking just the other day.
Well,
We've
that's
been
a
really
milestone.
waiting for that. So that's a huge win because
Yeah.
just seeing her grow and seeing my family just thrive. And then on the work front, just things are just going well. I've seen the fruits of the labor. I guess things are coming to fruition. But work, family, everything's going well. It's all a win. What's not a win this week?
Tell us why you think things are coming together.
I've been taking it seriously. I've
There
been
you go.
working. I've been putting effort in. I've been looking at things, taking a long, hard look at things and recognizing that if I don't have a plan and start acting toward it, it's not just going to happen. So
Never will.
never will.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
outstanding.
What about you, Low Dog?
Wins this week, the short week, right? So, what is it? Work day starts on, or work week starts late Sunday, and then you push into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're trying to squeeze that, like you said, 10 pounds in a 5-pounder.
Yeah.
And you had a big work project due today, and the strike force came together, collaborated, and we got it done. And
Got the call in the QRF. That's
Yeah.
a quick reaction force for you guys who don't know.
yeah. I mean, it really was one of those moments. And so that was it was a development win, right? Because there were intentional pushing team out of comfort zone, right? Like the last time we had one of these situations pop up, I took it all on, right? I took it all
Heavy
on
shoulders, huh?
and I did it all.
Yeah.
And this time I delegated and I pushed hard, and we got a lot done. And it helped because then I could focus on, that 80-20 rule, like
Yeah.
the 20% of what you're really, really good at, as opposed to doing everything.
That's it, man. It takes practice getting to do that efficiently. I'm learning that myself. And like we were just talking about before we went live, taking a good look in what I like to call the accountability mirror. Stop it and saying, okay, there's a problem here. And sometimes it's me,
Yeah.
and that's the hard talks that we've talked about in the past that you have to have with yourself. So Wins for me this week is the biggest thing that I'm happy about right now, other than being 6 feet up in a family that's fed with a roof, is I got my garage squared away. Thanks to my boy Big Country and Master P. We spent Monday putting the shelves together, the cabinets together. We got Basecamp 2.0 kind of in a format where we can actually get back to grinding. So big shout out to those guys for the massive help. And then business win, man, is we're pushing. We're past quarter four. Like our thought process is long gone. Quarter four is gone in my books. So we're starting to see different things take place in our industry given the circumstances with the supply chain. So I think my business win this week is I was able to actually sit down today for the first time in a couple of weeks, which feels like with the whole move, and really get caught up on proposals and follow up and all this. So to all my clients, I really, really, really am grateful for you guys for bearing with me through the move from Basecamp 1 to 2.0, because it's been a whooping. But
that's a hard thing to do.
Dude, I was just talking to a couple of people, and, I use this. If you're an employee, it's cool to be like, hey, boss, going home for a week, whatever happens to your company, not my problem. I've never had to do a unilateral move from my family and my business all at the same time as a business owner.
Yeah.
And holy smokes, you want to talk about mental breakdown and mental, just like chaos. That's what it is. It's a nightmare.
It is.
But it's over. So
I moved. I mean, here in town, when I really established my own place, I moved almost 5 years ago now, and I'm not looking forward to ever moving again. And the plan is to not do it.
Yeah, they're gonna bury me in that backyard. I mean,
just because the you think moving your home is hard, which it is. I can only imagine, right? Because I haven't moved in over a decade, right? So man. The amount of and we're very good about, if you haven't touched it in a year and it doesn't spark joy, unless it's an old motorcycle.
You can say that all you want. Go ahead and box that house up. I dare you.
Yeah, no. Right. But even when you do that, even when you are constantly, wheat from the chaff, there's going to be accumulation. And then, you add your business, right? Your business Basecamp 1.0 into that mix.
Yeah, it's a totally different mindset.
And then you got to relocate all of that. So it's business down and home down. And that is a very hard thing to do, because I will say I felt extremely lucky when the business was down. I could work from home.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because the move, I don't know if you remember what predicated the move is the knuckleheads. Yeah, the leak.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it leaked in like 2.5 of the 4 offices. And I was like, all right, that's it. I'm out.
It's a whooping, man.
Right?
But you gotta bounce back from those kind of things. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight. We know that tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So, funny enough, tonight's whole topic is really about bouncing back, and we'll share some stories with you guys and want to hear from the audience.
Yeah. Audience, throw it in the chat. And also I want to, great. Hey man, I think we all need to say we're thankful for our clients and for the opportunities that they give us, right? Whether that's somebody you report to, whether that's somebody, that has done business with you or that is a prospect. I mean, the fact that those opportunities are there in 2022, when, I was talking to a business developer and she works in Dallas and her company is nationwide, and they're doing on a nationwide scale, they're doing the office 1 day a week.
Can you imagine the real estate market on the commercial side and how bad it's been hit? I've been to just only a few of the bigger buildings in downtown with our Apex team and some things like that. And you walk into these massive 20, 30-story buildings and there's like 10% capacity. That's got to be a massive hit for the people that are shareholders in those businesses.
Yeah, I think what we might see happen there, because, the need for physical offices are,
they're diminishing.
And, that could be a place that could be converted into somebody's home.
It's insane.
And that might be the future, right? So no more standing in lines at McDonald's and Starbucks and whatever, Kroger. because of the vid, but also, going to completely redefine the way we do commercial real estate in metro areas.
That's it. Hey, we got some listeners and some watchers here. Mr. Jared Long, aka Big Country.
Big Country.
My
What's
boy
up?
Mike Rannigan is spending some time with his family tonight, so
Doc.
kudos for him. But his big win says he finished up the lights at Fair Park and had a spontaneous lunch date with the boss lady. Good for you, buddy.
Good, Mike.
Doc Holiday.
And we
Yeah, Doc Holiday's lights.
And we
He's
got
your
our boy,
Huckleberry.
Yeah, you got our boy James here, man. Hope you're doing good. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. So
Thanks, guys.
Let's jump into this real quick. So when we talk about bouncing back, it's I think it's self-explanatory, but what does it mean to you in a certain form? Because bouncing back is a number of different ways. It can be a positive or even a negative. I mean, what's it mean to you, Evan?
I think we've talked about it before, but kind of like it's an opportunity to learn. If it's called, we'll say, a failure in someone's mind, like it's an opportunity to take an observational look at where could I have done things differently and where can I do them differently moving forward.
Yeah.
What can I take from this situation? What have I kind of gleaned from this and apply to something to make it better the next time? Because bouncing back is just like, it's getting back in, it's getting back, into whatever that you're doing and not taking that as the defeat that's permanent. It's taking it as an opportunity to make something better. And ultimately, I think that bounce backs bring us beyond where we were prior to that.
Yeah, like your rubber band analogy.
Yeah.
What is it?
Good.
Where
Yeah.
you stretch it, it gets stronger. Is that the?
I mean, that's the, how do you know if a rubber band's going to work? You stretch it, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's it. I mean, yes, there's a break point, but that's what we as humans are designed for, right? We are bend, don't break. And I'm going to tell you something, something I did in Q4 was I raised my personal, professional, and financial goals, right? I was hanging around in Q3, kind of like I hit this big milestone. I was like, hey man, I was doing good. Hey, I got on the show. I talked about my wins. I was patting myself on the, I kind of feel like, I just wasn't pushing the ball down the court hard, and started drilling with my team, and I started looking at how I'm pushing them. And I thought to myself, well, who's pushing me?
Yeah.
Right. I got to push myself harder. So I raised my personal, professional, financial goals, just incrementally, and
Realistic goals.
that's made a huge difference, right? It's a huge difference. It's something you talked about, but that's a way to bounce back, because I think it's a win or a learn. You never lose, you learn, right? You have an opportunity. Well, you can lose, but only if you quit, right? But if you go at it with the right mindset, you are going to hit a tripwire. Your judge is not going to rule on your side. Yeah. The facts advantage is not going to be for you. Something is going to get snake bit on the job. It doesn't matter what it is. Evan's going to get up on a roof, and the roof is going to just be impossible to film, or what have you, right? These things are going to occur. And you got to know that, just like a rubber band, you got another gear. And that's something that I think we need to be reminded of. And failure or setbacks, I don't like to call them failures, but learns or setbacks or tripwires, those are things that will stretch you. And, man, you're not getting better if you're not.
I think, man, I think to me, when I want to talk more about the mental bounce back than the physical, because I think it all starts there. And the post I put out this morning, it says your mind is either a roadblock or an accelerator. It can smother the fire in your soul if you let it, or it can be a raging inferno. But you choose for what is your choice. It's your choice. So when I think bounce back, I think more like I need to take a step back and look at mentally where my capacity is, because it's just like a cup of water. You overfill it, it's going to continue to fall out of the cup. So sometimes, like Evan and I were just talking before the show started, and just kind of talking about life and how things are going. And it's like, man, I had to do a mental reset the last couple of weeks. And, I got the accountability mirror comes from the David Goggins book.
Yes.
That Can't Hurt Me. And if you haven't listened to that, the Audible or book, get it. I'm telling you, man, it's a
game-changing book. I love it. I gave it to my mom.
But when you start thinking about that accountability mirror and your mindset, they go hand in hand together. And to me, that's where I have to stop and say, okay, this is where I get to bounce back.
Yeah.
Is pause, reflect, and move forward. Because sometimes as a business owner, a father, a husband, a community involved person, like, dude, it's like 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag every day,
Every
depending
day.
on who you are, right? What point does the rubber band break? And that's where you want to stop, right? You want to stop stretching it and you want to pause and take a minute. Because for me, everything I do that leads to success or failure all starts here every day of the week. You know what I mean? You wake up, you do your thing, your routine. Yours is 4:44 this morning. Good for you. I've never seen one of those since the Marine Corps, but you wake up in the right mindset, your day has to go the way you want it to. Or at least you're going to want to, it may not go the way you want it to, but you'll be able to bounce back from that day with the positive mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm going to talk about bouncing back because I hit some tripwires, right? Had some hard days. These things are going to happen.
Get some, James.
And then Jennifer reminded me about all these opportunities, right? And then bam. And I'm going to nerd out a little bit. I got an opportunity this week, and I know for a lot of people, they'd be like, what? But I got a murder case this week.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So to have that opportunity means, that you have taken your skill set to a level, right? Where that is something that somebody trusts you with.
Dude, that's massive.
Right. And that's not an easy thing to do. And I think if I had stuck with that drainer mentality, that victim mentality, right? I was walking around, I was grumpy. I was like, man, this is why is this happening? What do I got to do to dial this in to fix it? And then I just reset.
Exactly.
Right. And it's absolutely right. You're talking about, you're going to take the day, you're going to take the weekend, you're going to do your deal. I'm a little different. Like for me, the busyness is what I do I love, like,
that's how you and Doc are, man.
Like I'm not a sit on the beach guy. That's the most not exciting thing in the world for me. I like to be go, go, go. Like my vacations involve usually gasoline, motorcycles, some sort of adventure, right? Something that you're going to, like hiking up a mountain. You're going to challenge it, going to Big Bend and hiking and walking and off-roading. I mean, I like go, go, go.
But that's your reset, though.
That's my reset, right? Like I go down and I'm square when I come out of that. And that doesn't work for everybody, right? And getting up at 4:44 to work on your free throws. And I don't do that every day because you've actually coached me, right? And Doc has coached me. Like, maybe that's not always the best thing to do.
I mean, it's got its place, right? I mean,
it does.
What's your reset, Evan?
A lot of mine is just like getting in isolation. And I think a lot of it is just quieting down all of the duties, the responsibilities, the expectations, and just focusing on
you
becoming. Me. Like, what am I becoming in this? Because I think like the tasks and the outcomes, like we can hope them to be a certain way. We can never have them guaranteed, but what we can control is who we show up as to those things.
I love that. Yeah.
So I think like that is
knowledge bomb.
Hey, I read
somebody
it in a
write
book
that down.
So it's like, I love how you mentioned like the victim mentality, because like let's just say all those outcomes go different than planned.
Yeah.
Right. Like this didn't turn out the way and rightfully so, because you expect better.
The world is picking on
right.
me.
Oh man, like if only things were a little bit different. But I think kind of in that, recognizing, okay, it's neutral. This is what it is. Taking a step back, observing how we are in that moment. Are we maintaining the mindset that is progressive and productive and helpful and benefiting that moment? Or are we looking at those circumstances and kind of maybe in self-pity and wallowing in that? And I think that for me, kind of like to answer the question of like what I do, I'm very introverted. If you guys couldn't tell, very shy, very introverted. And like being around a bunch of people, like for a time is great, but after a while I'm drained. So I know if I need to show up to something, show up for my family, show up for a job, show up for a client, prospective meeting, I want to be optimized for that. So I know what's required of me, the whole like sharpen the saw. Like I've got to retreat, be alone, work on myself, kind of quiet everything else out. And then just the reminder of like who I'm becoming, what matters most. And that's kind of my center.
That's kind of your foundation for bouncing back. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
I get that, man, because as an extrovert, like I like people.
Really?
I like to talk, and I love being around people and things like that. But there are times
angry people
where, metalheads. But there are times where you need the me time, you know, and I'm not talking
Yes.
like me from my family. Like I'm talking about, okay, I don't need to be the yes man for all of the community things. I don't need to be I'll do it. The prime example, we did the Veterans Day celebration, McLean Chisholm, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, let's go put flags up. And I'm like, I'll go do it. And right when I got in the truck, closed my door, I'm like, why did I do this? I have like 5,000 things I should be doing right now. So there are times where who you show up to be is also the thing that bites you in the ass too, though. Right. So there are times where I'm like, okay, I need to just,
Yeah, you're
woosah.
very
Yeah.
you've learned and you're very good at coaching, say no. And I'm not good at that.
but it's not always about saying no. It's about saying yes to the right things.
Right. That's a
but-
better way to put it because
Yeah.
it's not, you're not being rejective. You're talking about these are things that are on my whiteboard that I must accomplish.
Uh-huh.
And as much as I would love to do X, it doesn't fit into this
Which
paradigm
goes
today.
right back to intentional with your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's having
And
margin in your time.
My
to say
man
yes to
Evan
the
over
things.
here now has the 30-minute life hack.
Hey,
So he's going to start that as well. So we'll see how that works for him. But
Austin's doing
about-
that.
is he?
Yeah.
Get some.
Man,
There
so
you go,
we're
Austin.
at the we're at the
Yeah.
office today. We're grinding every 30 minutes. It's 3:00.
Oh, still, you got to tell him take that
It's
trash out there.
3:30. No, it's his computer. His computer talks
that's
to him.
great.
So
Thanks,
so it
Siri.
doesn't happen when it's like it's not on his phone.
That gives
watch,
me
it's-
anxiety just hearing that.
Yeah, no, but it's just a notification on the computer. It's a very soothing voice.
Yeah.
It's 3:30.
Nice and
it's
smooth.
like
Do you know where your kids are?
I'm like, what was it? And yeah, he's like, hey man, it just makes you check yourself, and it works.
Yeah,
it's
no.
a great tool for efficiency.
I'm telling you, man, it brought so much clarity to me. And it was a part of my bounce back too, because I was getting in a point where I was just like, go, 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 go. And I've always preached, like, if you don't control your schedule, the schedule will control you.
Yes.
Holy smokes. Wait for the
That's
ride.
good.
Just do it for 2 weeks and see where you're at. But I'm telling you right now, when you're intentional with your time, it helps you bounce back more, right? Because you know that I should be doing this right now instead of like, oh, there's 4 shiny objects, Doc, that are over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
good.
love the fact that I can relate to both of you guys,
Yeah.
where it's like I need a little bit of like alone time, but maybe it's hiking up a mountain, or it's just like solitude.
Hey man, you gotta earn that alone time. Right.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you're talking
Yes.
about, here's something intentional I heard from the both of you, right? Like I know that you like Xbox or games.
Shooting
You're-
bad guys,
you're a
damn
gamer,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, everybody has their hobby, whatever that is, right? And
That's my solitude.
got to earn that.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
But because you've been so intentional with your time, so productive,
Yeah.
and not just busy, productive,
Mhm.
actually, you know,
Yep.
GSD, getting things done and turning those goals into accomplishments. So they're not just wishes on your,
Yeah.
you write your goals down twice a day. Man, I sure wish that would happen. You've got to be intentional about that.
Well, they say wish in one hand and do some in the other.
Yeah. Sorry, Keith.
see what fills see what fills up first.
Right.
That's funny you say that because we were doing something at the house the other day, and my son's like doing what 15-year-old dudes do, you know, whatever. He's like, "Hey, are you gonna go shoot some bad guys?" And I'm like, "I gotta earn it." And he
Mhm.
looked at me, and he was like, and it just came out, and it was
That's
like
so
that
good.
was my mindset. Like, I gotta get this house together. I gotta
Yeah.
get this garage together. Like, my team needs me to perform right now.
Yeah.
So next week, it's all good to go. So yeah, I love that mentality, that shift that you started saying that, which I've started implementing, was like, okay, I want to do this. I got to earn this, which takes me back to my younger days where it was like, I don't do anything unless I earn that, like my Marine Corps days and things like that. But you kind of falls to the wayside if you let it. And it did with me. And it was just like, okay, I'm going to push this to the side. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I was
Yeah.
getting that.
I'll just go hop on the Harley and go for a
Yeah,
ride.
I was
It'd
like
be fine.
procrastinating, right?
Yeah.
And I found myself a couple months ago doing this, and I'm like, dude, this is not me.
Yeah. I
had
got
to
it.
bounce back from that. Yeah,
Right.
That's
So
good.
what does that tell you, listeners? What does that tell you? You know, you got to always keep bouncing. Right. I mean, it's easy to go even from a high performer, and like everybody on this, everybody listening to this, everybody's a high performer. Right. And the fact of the matter is that we'll all plateau. You do it it happens at the gym. It happens everywhere. Right. So all of a sudden 3 miles is not hard anymore.
yeah,
Right. All of a sudden 5,000 meters on the rowing machine is easy. Right. So how do you keep, you got to raise that goal, right? You're going to do high intensity, right? You're going to go CrossFit. You're going to go do something and get on a cycle, something, right? To push yourself. And you got to do the same thing in business. So I don't know what Jeff's doing over there, a little tech.
Sorry, I'm just throwing up our whiteboard party information.
Oh,
because,
hey,
on 12/15, we got this really cool annual whiteboard party that we're gonna do, and it's gonna be at Base Camp Rannigan. So, I didn't mean to derail you guys from it.
No. We need to talk about. So 12:15, Base Camp Rannigan, 6:00.
Yep.
And
pull up the daggone link right now. Throw it in the comments. Yeah, I mean, the long story short of this, man, is like I've talked to a couple of different small business owners in the last month, and I've been getting approached with, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Hey, and that's a blessing in itself, man. I should have used that as my win for the week, because I was actually doing it before we got here. But that's what this is about, man. Like bringing young business owners like Evan into the fold and saying, "Hey, man, let's help you get from year 1 to year 5 a little bit quicker. Let's condense, what we learned and give it to you, because what we got is what we were given, and that's why we do what we do." So I'm just trying to make sure.
No, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a great event. You're going to be in it. There's nothing like the value of being in a room full of people who want what you want. And I didn't used to understand that. And I would go network in rooms where I didn't know anybody.
Oh man.
And I'd have to make a friend, and then I'd go back to that same event, that same group. And if I met Evan last month, I'm likely to gravitate to Evan. I'm not going to do anything to push me out of my comfort zone, to stretch me, so that I am learning to network with people I don't know, so I can build my network, right? That's one thing. And then 2, you may or may not be in a room full of like-minded people. And I will tell you,
that's the key.
Been to a number of networking events and continuing education events for young attorneys, for old attorneys, for this, that, and the other. I will tell you that there are, as in any profession, a whole host of people who are okay with average. They are okay with enough. They are okay with not pushing themselves. They are okay with what they did last year. They are okay. And I am not down with that, right? I am not down. And maybe it's because it reminds me of times in my life when I think that has a lot to do with it. Right?
Man.
Like, hey, man, I did this, and this is all I need to do. And then all of a sudden you realize that this really ain't that much.
I think there's the stigma out there, and I think one of my Facebook posts, my daily moto posts or whatever, was along those lines of saying, like, be a renegade. Like, don't think that you're okay to be average, like, because you can be great, but you have to do the work. You got to perform the action involved with becoming great. And I think there's this thing nowadays where it's okay to see the ladder and just stand at the bottom. Which is
cool.
Something no, it's not cool.
Like, man, I graduated from junior high. I'm good, dog.
It's not cool, man.
I don't have to graduate from 9th grade. Fail twice, pass. Isn't that the rule?
If you can strive, I tell my son this all the time. If you can be 10% better than every person in the room you're in, you're already standing out. And it starts with those little steps. Yeah. We always talk about this with each other, and I preach it to my guys and my son. Be better today than you were yesterday. Sometimes 10% puts you above average.
Yeah.
And it's really small steps. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not always this great leap onto the top of the mountain every single day. It's that 10% grind every stinking day that gets you there. And it's those times when you have to bounce back. Exactly what you said. When you bounce back, who's bouncing back? What Casey Ashmore is bouncing back right now? What Jeff Skinner or Evan Renfro? Yeah. Because it doesn't always have to be the good. Like, I've bounced back and made it worse, to be honest. Like, there's been times where I had to bounce back and I made the problem worse, right? And that's where you got to go right back to that accountability mirror and say, okay, there's all kinds of problems right here, and it's stemming from me. That's when you have hard talk with yourself. Really square that shit away, because it gets me. I mean, being honest, it gets me from time to time.
Everybody can hit that tripwire. Right. And that's one thing. So we're going to go back to David Goggins' book. I love the message of that book. I really
Yeah, it's
love
amazing. Yeah.
the personal challenges and that he gives to the readers, like, here's a homework assignment. I want you to do it. And I'd encourage anybody who has read that book and didn't do the homework assignments, do them. And anybody who hasn't read that book, read it and do the challenges that David Goggins, the author, sets out in that book, because they really will help you identify and push yourself, right? And you're going to get to know yourself, right? And that's a critical thing. I think every young man and every young woman, when you grow up, you really just don't know who the hell you are. And
Yeah.
you don't know who the hell you are for a long time. And sometimes you can define that because you get imputed core values in the military or through church or through just a
Your
good
circle.
upbringing,
Yeah.
right? A good start, a good education. And then that builds you up. And still, though, you're a young person, you're making your way in the world. You don't know who you are yet. You're going to go through a lot of bounce backs,
Yeah.
right? You're going to go through a lot of trial and error. You're going to hit some tripwires, and you have to start figuring out who you are, getting that get to know you space. And for you, that might be that you've earned by putting base camp 2 in
Mhm.
play, right? You've earned a little downtime to just, what do you call it? Woosah, right? The cigar,
Yeah.
back patio, porch, the
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
right?
And that's
The
my
big
plan.
red.
Yeah, that's my plan. Like you say there's no days off, and I understand because I know you personally and I know you really well what that means to you. So I know that you do like a little woosah time.
Yeah.
But there are days where, like tomorrow, man, I'm cutting it off. Like, I'm gonna spend the time with my family. I'm gonna hang out with my boy. I'm gonna relax and watch some football with the wifey. But those days help me bounce back.
Yeah.
Those are the days where I wake up Friday when everybody else is hungover from turkey or bourbon or whatever. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's times in life where I think you have to just kind of shut down. And your shutdown and your shutdown's different than my shutdown. But if you're looking for a way to bounce back right now and you feel like you're putting 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag, like we like to say here, is maybe you just need to shut it down for a day. That doesn't mean everything stops for you. You just have to mentally take a break, because you're just going to keep pouring water into the cup and it's just going to overflow. And what happens now? You have a mess to clean up. So sometimes it's okay to shut the water off.
Yeah. Be
grateful for the cup of water that you have, drink it, eat some turkey, and then wake up Friday ready to dominate the day.
That sounds like a hell of a good plan.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
That sounds like a hell of a good plan.
Fire pit, cigar, family, kids. Like,
Nice.
I think a lot of people we haven't even really talked about what Thanksgiving is, right? I think to everybody, it's something different. I'm thankful every day.
Yeah.
I write my gratitudes down every day. It's something we do. It's kind of part of our core values here at the Patriot Business Alliance, the gratitude. But Thanksgiving, what does it mean to you outside of your traditional turkey? And I love that canned crappy salt. What is it? The cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I love that crap,
Oh.
man. I eat that whole can. My wife's like, "You're really gonna eat that mess?"
That's
I'm like,
gross.
"Yep, every bit of it."
Come over tomorrow. I'll make you
Some
the
real
real
food.
stuff.
But the canned stuff is so good. It's like
It
Jello.
is. It's because
You open the can and it pops right down.
it's Jello
Yeah.
and high fructose corn syrup,
That's awful.
and
Your arteries are just going.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
all good. You're only doing it 1 or 2 days a year. It's fine. It's what you're doing the other 363, right? So,
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. I was not a holiday guy. Holidays for me coming up was, just to try to avoid my family. Is basically what I did, right? Just avoid, like, how do I minimize the time I have to see or spend with anybody in my fucking families? Sorry, Keith.
We're gonna hashtag that. Put that on a
hashtag
shirt.
And, I'm in the military a couple of years, and I got invited to a Thanksgiving. It wasn't even my Thanksgiving. I got invited to
Like
it.
a Friendsgiving.
Yeah,
whatever you
something
call it.
like that. And, so I'm sitting there, and there's this bountiful meal and all this revelry and fun and kindness and love. And this is when I lived up north. So, of course, we were watching the Packers or the Browns or whoever was on, right? The
Yeah.
Thanksgiving game. and it was the first snow of the year, right up on the Great Lakes. So it was just like a perfect moment of thankfulness.
Yeah.
And I was thankful to be there.
Mhm.
And it changed my mind forever about that holiday,
Really.
about what it meant to me, and how I would allow it to be defined. So for me, it's a time of,
Sounds like reflection.
yeah, reflection and fun and being of service,
Yeah.
right? Cooking for others, inviting people over, making, something extravagant, right? Like that you would not make every day. So today, when we leave, I have 3 birds brining in
Three turkeys.
No, I have a turkey, a chicken, and a duck.
Okay.
Right.
Turducken.
I
Evan knew exactly what you
Yeah,
were doing.
so I got them last week. I thawed them. I cut the bones out of them, and they're brining right now. Tomorrow morning they'll go into, you sew it together. It kind of looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that because they're all apart. So you just
Oh.
put one inside the other. It's kind of like a sandwich, and then
It's like a meat sandwich.
yeah, it's like then you stitch it up like Frankenstein.
Sounds very Navy-ish. Meat sandwich.
It kind of does.
Oh,
Let's
for
check
you,
with
you
Doc.
seamen out there.
Doc, get on that. What is that?
What's Thanksgiving to you, Renfro?
Yeah, it's been a little different these past few years. Can't get the meat sandwich out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving growing up was like we had a big family. We would always get together, and then it looked a lot different for many years, kind of in young adulthood. But since having kids of my own, it's kind of forced me to slow down. And I love how you guys have said a couple of things like reflection. I think intentionality is big. I think the whole idea of like be where your feet are, it's like a challenge for me because I have so many things I want to do and need to do. But that's a day, like you were saying earlier, like shut it all down.
Yeah.
Just take it back.
Take a moment to kind of appreciate who is with you and be with them and be there for them and gift them your time and yourself fully. I think
that's huge.
Intimacy of that. It's big. And I think, for holidays, for most people, it can be very, very stressful and chaotic because there's the duties and the responsibilities of, buying the gifts and being here and being there all on the same day. But these last couple of years, Courtney and I have just really made it a point to say, like, we're going to slow down. We're going to be there. And the people that are in that circle, they're going to be there with us. And it's just like purposeful time spent together.
Money, because I tell you what, man, and I'm not an old fella. This guy's a lot older than me, but
years.
You could tell your life goes by quick, huh?
It goes, man. You're on the bus. It doesn't stop. There's no rewind.
I'm telling you, man, that like slow down and be intentional with your time with your family is critical, man. And the young business owner in me understands, like, I don't want a day off. There's no day offs. There's a grind. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. But the 40-year-old man in me says, yo, I have to stop this. Yeah, I'm 40. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the 40 years of experience lets me go, man, I remember Thanksgiving as a kid and how awesome that was. But as a kid, you don't realize, all the stress, all the planning, all the this, all the that, all the other things. And we can continually be great. But if we're not being great with our families and we're leaving them behind, what's the point of all of it? Right. So that's why I said, hey, I'm shutting it down tomorrow. Like, I may do a couple of emails in the morning while, drinking coffee or something like that. So I'll be getting my,
You'll be doing a little bit.
But man, it's to me, I'm with you. That's the moment in the year for me that I want to just pause, reflect, stop, and recharge my batteries, and just really hit Friday morning with a vengeance and say, okay, I'm going to sit down Friday morning and we're going to knock this, and this out. All those things that like the last month has been, oh man, I didn't get to it today.
Gotta get to it.
So while everybody else is, hung over, I'm going to be grinding on Friday. Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah, they're going to be shopping. It's going to be Black. It's going to be Black Friday or Cyber or something.
If you can even get anything.
Yeah. Black Level AV.
Yeah, it's going to be Black Level AV.
Black Level AV Day on Friday.
That's right.
There you go. That sounds cool.
That
for
sounds
next
like
year.
a good.
That sounds cool for next year. Yeah. This year we're shutting it down. Don't call me.
Man, I love that. I love that's a huge message. I need to hear it often.
Casey, that's your thing. Be where your feet are, man.
Mm-hmm.
He says that so much, man. And it rings so true, because if you're not, how can you respond to the good, bad, or indifferent?
you know what?
You
That's
can't bounce back without being where your feet are.
you can't, and you're not focused, right? I have, like, here's a bounce back, right? You're trying to multitask. You're on the phone with a client, right? This year of COVID, we've all learned how to multitask so much, right? You're on a Zoom here, Zoom here, phone call here, earbud,
Is that how your day goes?
hardwire. I mean, it was for a while.
Wow.
I mean, it was just so much technology and so much bombardment, and
Like overload.
it was overload. And then
Yeah.
you know, you start thinking about being that intentionality, thinking about just giving all in for that customer to make sure that they know that your level of service is so
Oh, dude, I
committed to them.
Just talked about that with the young business owner this afternoon.
Right. You get and what that means to give undivided attention for 25 to 45 to, you know, whatever that time that you
Yeah.
have to have, right? That you've got my undivided attention.
Mhm.
I'm here to solve this problem for you, and my team is here to solve this problem for you. And I might, you know, I'm the Tom Landry on my team, right? So I might call a play, but everybody else who's coming in to run that play wears 88, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is a Irvin, is a Pearson, is a playmaker, is a Lamb, right? Everybody's, but I'm going to be undivided, focused on you and your problem for that moment until all right, we're going to go on this course of action. So we're going to put in 88 and we're going to run bing, bang, and boom, right? But being present in that moment. So that was a bounce back, right?
Yeah.
That was a bounce back of I'm multitasking too much. I'm making customers doubt the level of service because
man,
right. They're like, well, are you even paying attention? Like, you're not even paying attention, man.
What does that say?
You got the earbud in. You're on a Zoom call. You're not talking to me.
This guy's all over the place.
And there's nothing more frustrating than doing that, like having someone show up that's supposed to be there for, like, as a consumer, a service contractor comes, and instead of listening to what I need for
They're
him,
doing this.
they're on this, or they're on their phone, and it's like,
What'd you say, Mr. Skinner?
yeah, man, it's like, just get out. You know what I mean? And it speaks volumes about your character as well. I was just talking to a young business owner today, and he was talking about, I need to put money into marketing and da 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 da. And I'm like, dude, you're year one. You need to focus on your brand. You need to focus on your clients. Like, you're trying to eat the top of the elephant before you eat the bottom of it. Like, he was talking about commercial and builders and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, no one knows about you.
Yeah.
It's okay to go focus the next year of your life on the customer, because that customer is going to know that customer, and that customer is going to know 5 other customers. And if you chase the dollar, we always beat this dead horse on this show. You're going to be okay for a couple of years, right? And you may be successful for a couple of years. You want to build a legacy, you want to be legendary, you have to focus on your clients. Your clients are the one that create more clients.
Yeah.
And I know people that do marketing and all this other stuff, and that's important as well. There's no better marketing than organic client referrals.
None.
You know what I'm saying? And anybody that owns a business knows that. Yeah. Is it important to put money into marketing? Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's
Absolutely.
critical.
It's a tool, right? But if you're focused on that dollar, and I had to tell this guy today, like, dude, you're going about this. You don't even know what it costs you to run business. You need to find that out and then focus on the client. The money will come. That's where he's going to bounce back, is by listening to the mentorship from us that we're giving him, and not saying we're doing it perfectly, but that's why we do what we do here,
Right.
is so we can get him from year 1 to year 5 in half the time that it took us. So if you're watching tonight, you know who I'm talking to. Figure that out, focus that, and call us with any questions you have. We spoke to you earlier. So,
hey man, be creative with your marketing. With you got everything as a 1-year business owner you need to market right here. You got all your social channels. You got one of the best cameras money can buy, whether you're an Android or a Galaxy Note or a
Not on the Android.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely Blue Bubble Club over here. Them green bubble guys, I just can't get down with them.
Yeah. So
you Android loving people.
What I'm getting at,
if you got an Android or iPhone, throw it in the chat. Which one's better?
We'll
start that argument right now.
Yeah. Who's thankful for their iPhone?
Hammer turkey, Android or iPhone.
Yeah. So you know what I'm getting at, though. What I'm getting at is
you have everything you need.
You have everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All you need is creativity and effort. Right. And you can,
and don't be afraid to ask for help. Right. I mean,
this is one of the few times when you're on social, right? I mean, when When I came out of law school, the only advertising there was in a
Yellow Pages.
Yellow Pages,
What's that?
right? And
What is it?
Do you even know what a
Is that
yellow
physical copy? Does that come in a book?
That's that.
There's a
That's
book. It was this big book, and you had to have
Yeah.
money, right? They had the market corner,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it was either the Yellow Pages
Yeah.
or the Billboard. And these guys, man, these Billboard guys, these Yellow Pages, they were hustling, and it was like
the
price.
billboard guys are still making bank.
The
Oh, yeah.
price is the price. No, they're not. Not like they were.
Boy, them LED billboards, they're
LED,
about
that's
$4,500 a month.
That's
not cheap.
different. That's
They're
different.
not cheap.
But I don't know in our day and age where people are like,
I think you have to go back to ROI, which is something Doc talks about a lot, right? And you have to. That's what I love about Evan. We sat down last week, and Black Level AV hired his company, and that's what I love the most about him. Was it's not about, hey, I can take pretty pictures and do pretty video. It was about, hey, I got this 5-step plan for you right here, and it's a pyramid of what steps we have to take, and then really at the end of the day, it's about maximizing ROI. And as a business owner, I'm sitting on the other side of the table going, this guy gets me. Right? Because if I give, I want in a business standpoint, right? I mean, we're all in business to make money. We're not chasing the dollar, but we didn't start this to break even. I didn't start my business to break even. If I wanted to break even, I would be an employee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you doing what you were doing last year.
yeah, man, 4 years ago, whatever. So I think at the end of the day, man, if you're having trouble understanding ROI, reach out to people around you that are doing what you think you might want to do.
Yeah. Success leaves
And
clues,
reach
right?
out to Evan. I mean, Evan's got a smoking YouTube page for Maximize Media that I sat down for about 30, 45 minutes ago, or like last week, and watched. And the dude has so much value in just like, 2-minute, 3-minute clips of videos and stuff like that. It was like, wow, I wish I would have known this a year ago with PBA or something, but we're blessed and we're grateful to have him on the team now. So we're
Which is a perfect segue
Yeah.
into why you should come to the whiteboard party.
yeah.
Because back to why. That's always about the why. Simon Sinek, start with why. Get in a room full of like-minded people, right? You go to a conference, you go to a networking event. How many people there are really pushing like you're pushing?
Minimal.
Right? Minimal, right? Many of them are employees. Many of them are there for the beer or the free popcorn,
Social hour,
the
bullshit,
social, right? They're not there to mentor and develop and build that muscle. When you go to the meeting on December 15th at Base Camp Rannigan, you're going to be in a room full of people who want to push, people who want to be great, people who want to be greater than they were last year. And there's no, like when we did the $1 Million Hustle here,
Yeah.
there was no, I mean, the energy from that group of people,
Mhm.
right? You had 50 business-minded entrepreneurs or supporters. I brought some of my
Leaders,
employees, right?
yeah.
People who really want to take it up a level. And those folks, that's who you want to be around, right? They're people who want to be better than they were yesterday.
I mean, we got a prime example. You've been with us, I mean, in the circle, we'll call it the circle now, for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And just give us some feedback. Let
Yeah.
the listeners know, because we were just talking about this before.
Yeah,
so let
for
them
sure.
have it, dude.
No, that's great. I think one of the things, and to kind of touch on something real quick that y'all had kind of both naturally and organically kind of come to the same idea, is that like in a networking environment where most people are just waiting for their turn to speak, and then kind of going back to like the person that's just starting out in business, like the common theme there is like you have something to offer, and you're doing it with sincerity. Like you're trying to come together with people that are like-minded because you're trying to develop depths of a relationship.
Yeah.
Like there's purpose and there's meaning into it, because you know that you can take, like you've said a couple of times, you can fast track somebody 5, 6, 7 years, save them that time of like blood, sweat, and tears, and just say, hey, here, I've curated all the things I've acquired over the past handful of years as a business owner. I'm giving you that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they take it with their insight, their knowledge of their industry, the thing they're passionate about, and they apply it to that template that you've given them. And again, it saves them that time. But what it also does is it elevates them to be greater at what they're already doing. And I think when collectively, when a community of people that share the same mission, vision, and goals, like you're on the same platform and foundation of what you value and what you care for. So naturally you have that to each person that's involved in it. You want everyone to succeed.
Yeah.
And in the typical like networking environment where you're just kind of like fake smiling and, shaking
Forgetting
hands,
names,
passing
yeah.
out business cards. Like you're just waiting for your turn to pass your card out. They don't really do anything for you, and it feels like an obligation to be there. But I think that, like, even going back to like intentionality with Thanksgiving, like what we're searching for, I think each of us are searching for something with meaning and value and purpose. And you've kind of like hinted to it before, like you could be working for someone else if it was just about the paycheck or just about like showing up for a certain amount of time, but you do the things that are hard because it's important enough for you to do them. So I think being in y'all's proximity for just a short time, it has encouraged me in many, many ways. It's kind of like dusted off of these things that I've believed for a while, but I've just kind of like, to be frank, I've just kind of forgotten about them because I've kind of felt like victim of my circumstance for a while. Like life doesn't look the way I want it to. And recognizing that, okay, I haven't been surrounding myself with the people that share those same drives and passions that I have deeply woven within me.
Yeah.
So by doing that just for a short time already, I go home and, my wife's probably laughing and like, she's like, yeah, he's pretty excited when he comes home and, shares all these things with him. But it's like kind of birthing that out of like the collective goal, birthing that from like a group of people that share those same foundational principles it's invaluable. You can't just stumble upon that.
Yeah.
And I think y'all have created that and y'all facilitated that. And I'm excited, like hearing you guys talk about the whiteboard party. I haven't been to one before, but I'm going to capture some footage. But more importantly, I'm going to be consuming and absorbing every bit of this. So
I'm glad you shared that, man, because I want people to understand that the importance, and by no means did we pay him to say that, first off. But on a real note, man, it just goes to show you the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. And I say it all the time, small circle, big network. And you're damn right, man. I fell into that networking trap, and I'm sure he's felt it too, where it's like, I know I need to be here to show face or whatever, but I didn't really take anything away from those type of things, because you're right. It's like, oh, here's my card. What was your name again? Oh, I've met you 5 times. Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, you don't get anything. There's nothing personal. There's nothing like, you don't take anything away that means something, as opposed to sitting in a room with a bunch of people and literally just having an open conversation and saying, what is good, bad, and indifferent on your business? What's good, bad, and indifferent in your life? And hey, how can we help you? Like, this guy and I have grown together so closely over the past few years because it's always been a service before self mentality. And I think that's where you make true, real relationships.
Yeah. You're going to be in a room full of people that are aligned, like you're aligned. And core value, I've been sharing all week. I've been sharing, Tom Keenan's nuggets about core value. Somebody asked me about it today, right? It came up with a conversation with 2 old friends today. And, the bottom line is alignment is one of those core values, right? You've got to get in alignment with yourself. You've got to be in alignment with your business partner.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be in alignment with your life partner. You got to be in alignment with your family,
yourself too.
Yeah, right. Or it's not going to work. But another critical thing is to be in alignment with the people that you allow in your sphere of influence, right? There's a book, article, something. You are the sum of the 5 or 10 people you spend most of your time with, right? And if those people are victims, naysayers,
put shit in, get shit out.
Hey, don't do that. Don't hang out with those PBA guys. They're gonna, man, they work all the time. Those guys are like, man, they're working on Thanksgiving, and that comes from a place of protection, love, and comfort, not wanting you to be burned out, this, that, or the other, but that's not alignment with maybe what you want. Right. And that's that awakening where you've had that epiphany, that wake up call, rattle, the bell rang, and you're like, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. Cause I remember very much feeling exactly like that,
man. Like it was yesterday. I felt
like exactly like that, working that good job in the city, safe, 1st and 15th. I knew what was coming in, and you started thinking that was enough.
Would you give it all up again?
Oh, I should have done it 10 years
sooner. Right? Everybody that asks me that, man, I'm like, I wish I would have done it sooner. Right? And you're gonna say that same thing in 2 years. I wish I would have done it sooner. But the fact that you're here, you're invested, your eyes are open now, is like it opens our eyes too. You know what I mean? Because it gives us the solidification that we're like, hey, what we've been grinding doing here for a few years now is actually changing lives.
It is.
And we're actually mentoring other businesses, and we're mentoring each other. So, man, on this Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for the Patriot Business Alliance. 100%.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
100%.
too. Can't wait to
Absolutely.
see what 2022 is bringing.
Oh, we're gonna dominate.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
Yeah.
That's good.
Even if we don't win every day, we're still learning. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, anyways, I think we're getting to the top of the hour now, and I think at this point, people are probably
Thinking about that cherry.
turducken,
the
that
tur-
meat sandwich,
turducken.
the,
Meat sandwich.
Navy sandwich,
The Navy lunch. I
the
can't say those
turducken
things.
sandwich.
I don't think they serve that on a
They
Navy
need
ship,
a
but never.
tur-
Maybe they
We need a
do.
turducken T-shirt that says #Sorry Keith. Anyways, any
Come by
save
tomorrow
rounds?
and
Yeah.
you can have a piece of turducken, homemade, not store bought.
I got an easy question for you guys: Crocs or no Crocs?
Like the animal.
No, like them feet protective shoes.
So my boys love them. They
Are
just
you a-
love them.
Are you a Croc or no Croc kind of guy?
I actually do not care for the giant rubber feet.
Yeah.
Although when they were new, I thought they were pretty cool.
Okay.
And they are comfortable, especially when you're working out in the yard. You don't have to put on your boots.
Mm.
But Crocs make a athletic shoe now. So that's what
you hear
I
that,
wear.
big country?
I wear the Croc athletic
Oh,
shoe.
man. Are you a Crocs guy?
I hate them.
Me too. I'm with Evan on
Hate
this
'em.
one.
They look like
100%.
shoes now.
I pictured you more for like the Velcro flip flop
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Or just the slide on, like the prison shoes. Just
The-
slide right into them.
okay, so
Yeah.
so
The county flip flop.
yeah, your kung fu slippers, orange pajamas, and
Little toe
kung
sluts.
fu.
Call those
So-
the shower.
So here's the
shower
reason
shoes.
why. Here's the reason why you got to have Crocs in our house. I don't know if you've ever seen a Great Dane foot. It's about that big,
Yeah, it's massive.
right? So here, put your hand out.
Yeah, they're like
This-
6 feet tall.
This is what the Great Dane does to you,
It's protection.
right? So you have to have
Safety
a Croc
first.
or something on your damn foot.
Steel toed.
the best is when Jen posts the pictures and that big monster is sitting next to her. And
Yeah.
it's like tower over her.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, but that's how they show affection is they stomp on your feet and they lean up
Yeah.
against you.
Same. I do that as well.
yeah.
so your wife wears Crocs.
Always. Yeah. It's a safety thing.
Hey, Robert Quinn, thanks for joining us. And James, a quick shout out to you, man.
Thanks,
he
guys,
just
for coming in.
posted a video on his YouTube channel and picked up a new job making more money. So congrats, James.
Way to go.
Sounds like he's putting
See,
action.
just be creative with your.
Yeah. It sounds like he's putting action to the mentorship that Doc's giving him. So kudos for you there.
Outstanding, brother.
Doc, hope you're having a good evening. Tell the family we said happy Thanksgiving. And for you guys, I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for showing up tonight. Any other save rounds?
That's it,
That's
man.
it.
Thank you.
We're gonna get ready for some we used to say, $10,000 Thursday, but we're gonna say Turkey Day Thursday
Yeah,
tomorrow.
10,000 turkey day.
10,000
turkey
10,000
day.
turkey day.
10,000 calorie Thursday.
All right,
10,000
guys.
calorie Thursday.
Sign up. The ViewStub link is in the comments for the whiteboard party. If you got any questions, comments, give us a call or email or whatever. Hit us up. Y'all be good.